Hi, I suggest to you that we have entered a new season where God will teach directly about God to the hearts that are open to listening and hearing and experiencing something that is no longer of a vicarious nature. There will be fewer and fewer middlemen to define God to us, and fewer that we will be satisfied with as we make our ways known to be open to God teaching us directly. My name is Theodore Cottingham. I'm just a common guy who has experienced this over a period of over 14, 15 years. I simply quested to know God. I grew up Orthodox Christian, but I became increasingly desperate to know God directly, and not just about God. Not just about God through other people, not even about God through just a book that supposedly represented Him. So I devoted significant time to prayer, Bible study, going an hour a day to early morning prayer at a nearby chapel. Did that for years. And then eventually I studied more and more books. And I felt like at times whatever God was communicated with me and began to lead me. And I began to even have some experiences where I felt like there were instructions. And I felt like God began to deal with me about valuing those instructions, writing them down, and really caring for them, letting them alter my behavior, like listening, carrying a yellow tablet with me at all times. And, you know, in early 2003, I felt like God asked me, will you give me your whole mornings? So I began to spend from 8 to noon at a downtown cathedral, a marble cathedral in downtown Tulsa, from 8 to noon, pretty much 5 days a week. And it wasn't long before I felt like God began to speak to me. Well, how did God speak? Well, it's just an internal recognition. It's just like you thinking a thought. It's your inner mind, your mind, but letting the teacher teach. And so there were times that phrases would come, and if I began to write them down, more would come. And so before long, I was writing multi-page words every day. And within these words were many instructions. It wasn't long before within these words that I was writing was the request to record them. And so before long, I was, instead of writing on a yellow tablet, I was speaking into an audio recorder. And then later, it came instructions to video them. And over a period of years, I transcribed many of those. I had sometimes people help me. There were words that basically redefine the heart of God, who God is, who we are, our origin, what's available to us. I was taught very much so in very explicit terms that everything that Jesus did and became, we can do and become. That He is the model, He is the pattern, and that God is not male, This is not a patriarchal system. And it's not bound by church rules, and orthodox thought. It's not bound by the authority of religion. And so we're entering a new time, a new season. So I occasionally may make a little video like this to invite you to open up to hear the voice of God that is your voice, your mind, speaking directly to you, with you, in you. The request came over and over in what I wrote to ask people to pick up their pen. So I ask you to pick up your pen. Pick up your pen and write. And as I was given, as I called it God said, tell them to write to me, write to me, write to me, write to me. And as they write to me, I will come and begin writing to them, through them, with their own pen. So there's this exchange of energy, an exchange of recognition, an exchange of power and developmental education that comes forth. So I encourage you to surrender to you, to actually open up to be the real you, the you that's unlimited, the you that can learn to hear and write the first person words of God. I pray for your leadership to come through you, to come to you, for you to develop it. Man or woman, no matter what religion you've held as correct or right, that you do new things in the earth today. This is Theodore Cottingham with the University of the New Covenant. It's a new covenant. It's a new and living covenant that uses your voice, that comes through your mouth, your opportunities creating as you surrender to be who you really are. My website is theodorcottingham.com, newcovenant.me, and many of the words that I've written, many of the messages are online. You can search them, and there's actually a curriculum embedded in them. The school is within itself for the people who can begin to read and surrender and see what's there. Even how to study them is defined within the words. I call it just Database 1, a simple guide, simple term. And so this is my opening message to you today, here in early 2021. It's a new day, a new season. It's time for you to come out of the pew, out from being under the authority of man that tells you that you must please God. It's not about pleasing God. It's not about duality. It's not about good and evil. It's about you being who you really are. You coming back into your original state that we were before time ever began. It's a new day, and I call you the unlimited you, the infinite, eternal, immortal, lover of one, to be one mind with, the mind of God, the consciousness of streaming to you now, so that you write and affect nations maybe. I'm in Eureka Springs for now, and I love you and I bless you, and I call you to write. I call you to pick up your pen and see this is a new day for you to know God directly, and open your heart and mind, no matter what you have called it. Surrender to be the real you. With love. Good day. You can write me if you want to at Box 34, Eureka Springs, or my website I've given you, theodorcottingham.com. Blessings and love.